Good morning, everybody. What's up? What's up, you guys? I'm so excited. We're going to have some fun today. Great wealth conversation. So make sure you go ahead and tag your friends. Go ahead and schedule your watch parties for sure, because we're going to have some really good conversations that I think a lot of people need to hear and a lot of people need to know about. We are living in a time of uncertainty, especially if you're not getting the right education, right? You guys already know. Listen, if you want to become a cardiologist, what do you need to do? You need to go to med school, right, Eddie? If you want to become an accountant, you need to go to school to become an accountant, right, L'Oreal? If you want to become an insurance agent, you have to go take a test for that. Well, if you desire to become wealthy, then you actually need to be going to the School of Wealth. Yeah, you do. And that's the platform that we have right here for you guys that is amazing. And so I'm so excited. I have my sister on here this morning, Paloma. So beautiful. This girl has your testimony, Paloma. When I tell you, it so inspired me. I'm going to tell you the exact part. I remember when you did a chairman mentorship call, but I love to start my lives every single day with prayer. So we'll start there and then we'll jump right on into it. So Father, we thank you this morning. God, we are so grateful. You've been so gracious to us. You've been so kind to us. You've been so giving to us. Holy Spirit, we just thank you that you're the great counselor, the great teacher. We welcome you here. And I declare that every person up under the sound of our voice, that they will leave changed, that they'll leave transformed, that they'll receive an impartation to live limitless dream, a limitless dream life. God, I declare expansion, mega success, mega expansion, and mega increase right now, that you would give us the desires of our heart. Bless Paloma, Lord, and all that she has her hands to. Strengthen her right now. Give her clarity and focus. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, let's go. Yay. So Paloma, I want to jump right on in here. Oh, so I'm going to tell you this chairman mentorship call, chat that you did, it just made an impact. I see Angela and Carl on here, and we talked about it. It was one statement you made. I mean, the whole story was amazing. But you said, when you were just getting started, and I want you to start from the beginning, but I just have to say this part. You said, I just had to get in there and I had to work. And I had to work. And I had to work. And it was just like, it hit, right? It just was like, oh my gosh, that's what it takes. Sometimes people are looking for like this magic or like this like secret. The secret is you got to be consistent. But Paloma, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your story and how you kind of grew up. I'm always interested to see what were people's past relationship with money. What did you see growing up? Was there a lack? Was there more than enough? And what was that trigger for you that says, no, I gotta have something different? So take it away.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you for having me here. It's really an honor, and I really admire you. You have been a great inspiration for all the ladies. And yesterday that I saw your flyer, I was like, wow, it was like so inspiring for me to see you, because like you have been like always that I've heard you on stage. You always impacted also my life. So I'm really thankful for your results. And actually, when I was growing up, like how I because I'm Mexican, but how I learned English. It's because my parents, I've always lived in the border, Mexico, United States. So like my parents wanted to go to United States so we can learn English, like when we were little. So because they wanted us for us to have a better education for my sister and I. My parents were illegal. So at that time, they didn't have like any papers to work. So we went to Arkansas, Colorado, but my parents were working like cleaning like hotels, working on Pizza Hut, like just having those kind of jobs because they didn't have like any legal papers to work like in a good job. So when I was growing there, like we went to United States, I can tell you without anything. Like when people from Latin America come over here, like they go to houses of people like we didn't even knew that they were only like somebody from our relatives knew them and they accepted us into their houses. So sometimes, like, I remember this Christmas we were in a house, like we didn't even know, my mom at that time didn't have like any money to give us like any Christmas present, and it was hard those times. Then we went to a little place called Garden City in Kansas, and we stayed there like for 1 year. We had like apartment, but we didn't have any furniture. We didn't have like any TV or anything like that. It was like when you're little, you don't notice it, But my parents were having like a bad time at that time. I started like speaking English and everything, but then my parents were like a little sad that we were away from the family and our culture. So we went back to Mexico after those 2 years. But it was really good for me for learning the language and another culture and everything. But we went again for Mexico, and my dad actually, like, he's a really intelligent person, but a lot of intelligent people don't make good money because they have like a regular education. Like, my dad knows 5 languages. He's studying in Rome, but we were like so broke, and he used to work like a place where he was making $600 each month over here in Mexico. Then my parents wanted to arrange their papers because, like, I was born in El Paso, Texas, so I could do that for them. So we came again to El Paso, but it's like in the border with Mexico, so we're really close to Mexico. So my dad couldn't work anymore, and my mom started working at Dillard's. Maybe, do you know that store?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course you do.
English is really good too, by the way.
So she worked like 60 hours every week, so we can pay like the rent over here and everything, because at that time my dad couldn't work anymore. So I went to university here in El Paso, Texas. My parents didn't have the money to pay me college, so right here they give you financial aid, and actually I got $40,000 for financial aid in 5 years, so I can study. I studied fashion merchandising, which I never have work in my career. Actually, I just needed to pay what I own in order for me to study that. So I was just like a regular person, but about what you were talking about, your beliefs about money. Like, when I was growing up, since I had like all of this, like not a lot of money, what I saw, like my parents had to work a lot for it. So at that time, I actually didn't have like a lot of dreams or ambitions about this. But when I had an aunt, actually 7 years ago, she invited us to our first company of this type of network marketing. And when I just heard it, it's the first day I joined. I don't know why. It's like something from God, but I just joined. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, yes, I'm gonna do it. My mom and my sister also. And then I started going to events. I went to my first event in Las Vegas, and everything was just like so, like, wow. I was like, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. So then I come back to my house, to my city, and actually my sister was the most like entrepreneur. She was like the most that had like this type of like talking to more people, being like more, yeah. And I was like not like that. Like, I didn't like speaking to strangers. I didn't like speaking in my classes of university. One time I tried speaking in front of the class, and I was so embarrassed because, like, I didn't know what to say. I started like blurring, like getting so nervous, and I just remember I was like everybody was seeing me, and I just got so nervous that I couldn't say a word. And from that time, I got like, no, I'm never gonna be able to speak in front of people. So when I started this, and I started like, you needed to talk in front of people and everything, I just started like I just started like thinking in my why. And also something that happened to me, right here they speak a lot of money. So at that time I started like dreaming and wanting money. But I can tell you, all my first year it was so hard because I had it so paradigms, because I'm a Christian. since I was 10 years old, and I went to church and everything, and I loved that church. But at that church, they were always speaking like of money like a bad thing. Like you cannot want money and want God. And actually, at that time, I was really involved in my church. Like I was that type of person that were always in reunions, helping this, evangelize and everything. And all of my friends, when I started like this business, they all got like the back on me. They started like, no, we're losing you. You're doing bad. You're going to the world. Like yeah, everybody was like judging me because I was like now entering in another stuff and speaking on all of those things, and they were like, now you're on of those gossip, like prosperity, those kind of things. So I was like, at first I had really a battle in my mind because I wanted the success, but then I thought like unconscious, like it wasn't good. It was gonna separate me from God. I was doing something bad. And I remember just feeling the first year like this, like all my emotions were like this. Thank God I had my mom because she really guided me through it, and she was always like, no, you're not doing a bad thing. It's not bad that you want money, you want this because you want to help and whatever. So I started like reading a lot of stuff about subconscious mind, and that's what helped me a lot because I started discovering and going to the root of what I was hearing in church. And now then I started like changing those paradigms. But I can tell you it wasn't easy, but it's worth it. Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you this, Paloma. Were you able to, and it's interesting, our stories are, a bit different, but kind of similar because honestly, growing up, when I thought of church, like I always loved God. My parents didn't go to church when I was growing up, but my grandmothers took me to Sunday school and stuff like that. So I started developing a love for God. I knew I wanted to live for him, but honestly, there was no one at that time in the church that was really prosperous. They were downtrodden. It was hard. And so I was like, Lord, I love you, but I'm going to give you my life when I'm 60 something because they weren't fun and vibrant and energetic and winning. And I'm so grateful that there are so many pastors and churches now. Hi, Diddy. Come say hey to everybody. There's so many churches, and this is my son, Benji. He helps me stay together on my digital marketing.
Hey, hi, Benji.
I'm not sure her story, Ben. Just 5 minutes.
No, I'm watching on my phone. That's why I came over. I thought she's gonna be done, but call me and I'll come back.
Okay, I want to make sure you listen to her because she's amazing.
She's amazing.
Yes. But yeah, I was like, I didn't see enough examples of people in church that were prosperous and doing well until I was 23. And then I went to this church, and this couple, they were laughing, they were enjoying their life. They were very, very prosperous. And you could tell they were very authentic about their relationship with Christ. And that's really was my turning point. Were you able to eventually find a church that supported prosperity and wealth, or?
Yes, like last year I did a lot of traveling, right? So I couldn't go like a lot of church because actually last year I wasn't like here at my house. Like right now with everything that's happening, I'm just like so blessed to be like right now more in my house and working from home, which is amazing. But last year I can tell you, like I follow a lot of people like on YouTube, like Miles Monroe.
Yeah.
I love him. He passed away and everything, but since I knew him like 3 years ago, I just started reading his books.
Yeah.
I love his I love how he teaches, and like Joel Austin, Joyce Meyer, like those tops are my mentors spiritually, and I love what they teach because they teach what we do here, but in that part of spiritual. And that's where I also like when I started hearing to those kinds of pastors, like peace started into my life, and I was okay. I'm not wrong. Okay, there's some other people that think like I do.
Yeah. Very good. I'm so glad you were able to find that because I think thankfully now times have changed, and of course I think there's still churches out there that don't believe in prosperity. But I think, thankfully, there are a lot more that understand, like, if we're going to change lives and build cities and nations and all that stuff, Angela Cruikshank, what's up, baby? Nadine, that are on here, then we're going to have to, be in a position where we have it. So I really love that. Okay, so when did you find out about this amazing I Am Wealth Academy? And where were you at in your life?
Okay, so I've been like in network marketing 7 years, and I have like ups and downs. Like, when you go for all this entrepreneurship, it's something like regular. So like in the past, I after 2 years being in network marketing, I was earning $30,000 a month, but the company I was closed. So it was something so difficult because I had like a big team, more than 5,000 people from Mexico, and from one day to another, the company closed. So it was really like hard. After that, I was seeing opportunities, but I didn't see like anything I liked. So like with another partner, we did a company of ourselves. So we did something crazy went into our mind. It was like so crazy, and we were like, yes, we're gonna do our company, and we didn't even know what we were getting to. But we started like in planning it 1 month. We started our own company. It was a Mexican company. Actually, we opened it also in Colombia. It was 2 years that I was there. I can tell you it was hard. I remember those times were like so hard. Like I was like praying, God, why don't I see like I'm growing? Because I worked so hard in that company, and I was so stressed because we had like a lot of problems, financially problems. Everything we got from the company, we pay it out in the compensation plan. I remember at that time I was like working at the as an IBO, but I was working also in the part of the company. I was working in the part of merchandise and all of that. And after 2 years, I was just so devastated. I didn't have any more energy. I actually passed through my mom not to do this anymore. I was like so stressed. And after that, and we closed that company, we started looking at opportunities, and they invited us to like a lot of companies. And I remember I was hearing about this company, and I was like, what's that? What's iMarcus Life? And actually, when I heard that Ivan Tapia was here, I was just like, we need to talk to him, because I knew Ivan from my first company. So we called Ivan, and he said like, hey, come to Las Vegas. He introduced us to Alex Morton. At that time, I didn't know who was Alex Morton. Actually, he introduced us to Christopher Terry, and we were just like in a small meeting. And I can tell you, like, really, Jewel, the first time that they speak about this, I was like, I felt it. I was like I felt the energy again. Like if something has like, well, like, thank you, God. This is the opportunity. That first day I joined this company, and the first day I started working, because I knew this was the opportunity that I was praying for.
Wow, that is so powerful. And some of you are watching this feed right now. Somebody invited you on here, and it's for you. You're already starting to resonate, because what we have, I'm telling you, we don't even have competition right now. We are the largest Forex academy in the entire world. And for people that want to become wealthy, what are they doing right now? They're doing self-education. Like, it used to be a time where somebody would want their child to go to Howard or Harvard or Yale or Spelman. And I'm not saying those things aren't bad, but if you really want to become wealthy, you need to put yourself in an academy just like this. This is for you. That $234 that you're going to spend to get started, or $324 if you want to learn all of the strategies. For some of you that are really hungry, let me tell you something. It is the smartest decision that you can make. I love what Paloma said. She said she went to the meeting, she talked to him, and then automatically she said, okay, you know what? I'm signing up. It's time to get decisive. The reason some of you may have not grown to the measure that you want, you're not decisive enough. You have to learn how to make decisions. Live out of your heart, right? Because that's where your instincts are, or your belly. That's where your gut is. Your gut will say, I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to partner with this person whoever's watch party you're watching right now, or maybe I invited you on here, that you have to understand that partnership is key to success. No man is successful because of himself. It always is going to take the right partnerships and the right relationships that inspire one another. And you're going to be among some of the most brilliant minds in global economics. You're going to learn exactly what to buy, what to sell, and when. You can learn about cryptocurrency, which all of us needs to be getting educated on cryptocurrency. It is the fastest growing asset in the last 10 years. I'm just throwing out some things just to let you know what you're going to get when you make a decision to sign up. So Paloma, you see this opportunity, you sign up immediately. You're like, this is it. You start working from day one. So when did you sign up? How long has it been now?
In January, I'm going to be 4 years. So right now I'm like 3 years and a half.
Wow.
In the company. Yeah.
January. So you've just been here for 3.5 years. And I know we cannot tell numbers on here, but talk about when you first got started, because you talked about working in your, I don't know, was it your kitchen or your father's kitchen? And you just kind of had to, he was saying to you, I think this is not going to work. This is not going to work. And you just had to stay focused and talk about what you were learning. I want people to know why they need to be signing up. You're going to learn things that most don't know.
Yeah, of course. And I think it's just like one of the laws of the law of environment, like that you said, like nobody's doing what we're doing. And that's actually true. Like, I think we're like so blessed to be in this company, to be in the right place with the right people at the right time, because, you know, like we are like right now just exploding, like new chairman 100 with you, a lot of new chairmans, 25, 50, 100s, 500s. It's just like, for me, it's like, wow, I've never seen something like this in network marketing. And just to see this is like the beginning. It's just like, it's because we have like the right leadership. And I think that's so important, to be around the people that know more than you, that earn more than you. Yeah. And that they're like, to be in an environment where you feel uncomfortable, you know, like, because like us, we cannot stop, because actually the same environment, it's pulling you to grow. And this is something I've learned from John Maxwell, from one of the 15 laws of growing. And this is like so important. So I just feel so blessed, because if you're like in this company, it's inevitable for you to have a result. It's actually, if you stay and just be focused and work, it doesn't matter if you're gonna do it faster than others. The important thing I always look is that you do it. So I just feel like we have so many things right here, because, you know, we have like the most working people in the industry. We have like the great examples that just, they have pulled like the example so big. You know, we have like great millionaires here, and this is just like expanding each time, like our mind too. I know, like right now we're like chairman 100, but we're like, no, we're going to chairman 250. We're going to chairman 500. Like, we want more.
Yeah, and that's what happens. You get around people that have accomplished things and experienced success, and you realize, wait a minute, it's so much more. It's so much more than I can do. I think there's a quote that Thomas Edison said, that if a person would just allow themselves to be stretched, they would be astounded at what they could do. Paloma, I had gotten with a good girlfriend of mine who wrote this book called The Big Stretch. And I started a 4-week book club. We started last night at 8 p.m. Central. If you guys are interested in joining, you can get on Jewel Tanker Network. It's Jewel Tanker Network. It's that Facebook page. It's free. You just need to buy the book so you can go along with it. But it's so excellent because it talks about auditing your life and identifying, and she has like interviews from like Magic Johnson and some of the world's iconic leaders. And you start reading, you realize, okay, who are the dream champions in my life? Who are the dream bullies in my life? Who am I listening to the most? What is my ideal dream environment? Am I cultivating that environment? Am I doing things that are going to help stimulate that growth? Now, you continue to just work, because I know there are people in the beginning that did not believe, even your own family members, right?
Yeah, yeah. Since you know what happened before I am
Yeah.
my what that experience. So when I started this, my mom has always been my great support, and so with her, it's just like an angel in my life. And my dad, I love him, but he's like different thinking. So he was like, again, haven't you learned the lesson? You're gonna do that type of business. What happened that the last time? Why don't you get our job? Why don't you start working in what you study in your college? Why don't you do like? And he was like always like there and everything. And actually, a lot of people in social media started also telling me stuff, because when I started in Facebook promoting, inviting people to this company, I got a lot of haters at first. They were like, another company? What happened to the last one? So that no, it was like, and actually, like, I'm not gonna say it didn't, like, I didn't feel it, because I will be lying. I can tell you I was, and actually that was one of my fears when I started this company. I was like, what are people gonna say that I'm starting again another company? Because you don't, you don't want to lie to people, or because when you're in a company, you always say it's the best one because you really think it is, because you are feeling it. But sometimes experiences passes for what passed to me that are not into your control. So I was fear of that, but I said, like, I don't care. I don't care, because I'm not gonna let that define me, and I'm not gonna let that stop me, because that's only opinion of people that actually they're not gonna be paying my bills. So I really need to go out there, and I've always been that kind of person that I don't care what people think. So like I care, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So I just like I didn't focus on that, and I focus a lot of where I was going, on my growth, on my hunger. I think we just got to get like so focused and obsessed in what we're doing, so we can separate from the noise outside, from everything that's happening outside of us.
Yeah, that's really good. Paloma, talk about the education. Talk about how we're learning real wealth strategies and foreign exchange, crypto. Talk about, for the person that's watching right now, like, wow, y'all, this is pretty strong. What exactly can I expect if I decide, I'm ready to partner? Tell them, what can they expect?
Well, like one of the best ways of earning money, it's investing your money. And only 1% of the people population do that. So right here in IM, we have the opportunity to be learning from the best people that are doing Forex, that are doing binaries, that are doing cryptocurrencies, which is the largest financial network in the world, because it's about currencies and everything that's happening right now with all of this stuff. The economy, actually, it's making all of those currency goes up and down. So actually that's making more money in what we do. So in crisis, there's always great opportunities. And actually this is one of the greatest opportunity for people to start making money. Like I can tell you, like I have people in my organization, and I do like a lot of work in Latin America, and it's just been such a blessing, because right now we have people earning money from their phones, from their computers, from their houses, without leaving their houses, making money every day just by learning these skills. And there's a lot of people that didn't go to college, so everybody can learn this. So the academy we have here, it's 24/7. You can be learning like at any time. I tell people, like, if you have time to play the movies, to play, what's that called, where they see like the series and the movies,
Netflix, yeah.
So we have like a Netflix, but of education, because poor people entertain themselves rich people educate themselves, and it's not like rich people don't like educating, but don't like, I'm sorry, don't like seeing movies and everything. I tell people I love movies, but I didn't watch movies when I was broke and I was poor, because I first focus on being rich, and then I can do whatever I want, you know. So that's what we're telling you. We're telling you just to give up something for a moment in order for you to have better results, and then you're gonna be able to say, you know what, this Sunday I don't want to do anything, I just want to stay here in my couch with my family watching all day whatever I want, but because now you have financial liberty.
That girl is anointed. That's so good. Poor people are obsessed with entertainment. Rich people are obsessed with education. And you're absolutely right. When I have goals, there are times where I just work myself. I try not to work myself to exhaustion. I try to still take care of myself. But there are times when it's just like, I gotta go all in, Lawrence. You know what I mean? It's like Chairman 50 Lawrence Young is on here. Shout out. What's that, brother?
Yay.
I keep this water right here because I gotta stay hydrated, and then I have to make myself, okay, now you drinking all this water to stay hydrated. You got to get up and go.
Yes. Yes.
But I think when you get so obsessed with knowing that it's so much more, and if I just talk about this last part, and we're gonna get ready to wrap, but I want you guys to listen to this, because sometimes people are looking for like that little shortcut, right? Okay. Talk about, because you have a revelation on this, girl. I don't know if I ever heard anybody breaking down about working like you. So what did you do? Because I heard you say you just day after day. Talk about that.
You know, like I don't focus a lot on the future, because I think like when I focus on the future, then I'm gonna get like exhausted. If I think about like I need to work 1 year like this, no, it's gonna and I think that's what sometimes people just like think of all that price they have to pay, that they're like, oh man, that's all I need to do. But what I do, I just focus on one thing. Like that's like all I do, because actually we don't have like anything else. We just have like today. So I just focus on today. I'm gonna give my best. And you start developing like that muscle when you give an extra every day, that the other day and each week you're gonna be able to do like a little more, and a little more, and that's the way you get like better. So all I do is like I have a strategy for every day, and I just try to give out like my best. I don't know, I've never considered myself like the like a great person, a great leader. I just like stay like in that place that I just feel like normal, and I just say like I compare myself to better people, and I just say like I need to work more. Like I always feel like I need to work more. So actually, I don't consider myself that I work a lot, you know? I don't consider myself like that. But I just like every day, like I have my agenda, and I fill that agenda with the things that I know pays me, like this kind of meetings, personal development. I still like do the regular stuff, like invite people, prospect, give out my Zoom calls, presentations, and it's just like simple. Do simple things every day, but do it with the right energy, like feeling it, like you're already in the place you want to be.
Yeah. So I know you don't feel like you work a lot, but and everybody doesn't have to do this. I'm just getting a kick out of this. Okay. So I'm just going to ask, how many hours on average do you work a day?
Okay. So like for today, like this is my first over here where I'm at. It's 9 a.m. So this is like my first meeting, and I have like today meetings until like 9 p.m. like I just have like 2 hours that I don't have meetings, but all of it I have like one meeting through another to 9 p.m. So from 9 to 9 today.
Okay. So that's 10 hours, right?
Yes.
That's 10 hours, yeah. So is that an average day?
Yeah. Most of it. Yeah.
That's the average day. So usually cut off right around 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, you know what, why I do it also like this, because like I really love what I do. I'm really like this kind of person, but you know, I want to have a family in one point. I live with my parents, I love them, I eat with them every day, which I really appreciate that. But in one point, of course, I want to get married, I want to have my kids, and I want to give them like more time to them, you know.
Right.
So like, right now I just want to like be everything I can, because when I in another stage, I also want to have like more time with them. So
yeah.
I just think like people that right now like are, you know, like you are married, you have your kid and everything, and I admire you for that, because what you have accomplished, because you have more things to do than I do. But I just think like people that don't have are married right now, we need to get like more serious about it, because this is a great time for us to invest. So when we have our family, we can have like more things, you know.
Paloma, that is so good. And I just want to say, you know, if you're single, like she said, you should be going all in. But if you're married with children and maybe, you know, you're still struggling, that's where those sacrifices are going to have to come in, because you can't say, oh, I'm going to wait till the children are grown. Like I think your children need to see you wealthy now more than ever. There's so many influences on social media, you know, where they'll be able to see who has this and who has that. And not that we want them to be consumed with that, but you as a parent, you want to be able to provide, you know, a good quality life for them, expose them to the finest parts of the world, to send them to different parts of the earth to get educated and have experiences that really broaden them and help them to become global individuals that can make global impact. And the reality is you can't do that without money. So whether you have small children, you know, teenagers or adults, I think it's always the right time to say, you know what, now I have to sacrifice. You know, I'm grateful. My parents, they sacrificed a lot because they had already started having children. But as a result, we had a really, you know, a really good life, even though there were some valleys in there where dad, you know, hit some hard places in entrepreneurship. And this is why I really love this space so much, Paloma, because with I Am Mastery Academy is basically putting you in a position to educate yourself so that money is no longer an issue. You no longer have to choose, you know, am I going to get, you know, it's either or, it's and also. I can get and also, and I want this, and I want that, and I want this. And whatever impact you want to make in the earth, you can do. And so I just want you to share one last thing. What would you tell the people that are maybe on the fence, but knowing they need to make a move, knowing they need to make a decision? And I think that's the other thing that I see all the time, that unfortunately when people have adopted a lower class mindset or middle class mindset, they're very indecisive. Successful people are very decisive. They know exactly what they want and they make the decision. And you just have to start. If you're one of those people, I talked to somebody the other day, she said, oh, that's me, child. I'm just indecisive. I can't make up my mind. I said, now here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity to say, that's not a good habit. It's caused procrastination in my life. It's caused stagnation in my life. I don't want to continue to stay stagnated. And the only way to do it and to change it is to start actually deciding. When you hear information like today, this is not one of those go back and forth on it. This is one of those, I really need to move into action. So what would be the last thing that you would tell somebody that's on here right now before we wrap?
Yes, well, I will tell them that we act on what we believe that we're capable of. And actually, like, I'm just so blessed that before I started believing in myself, somebody gave me a word and told me, hey, Paloma, you're gonna do great things. And I can tell you, I've captured that word like in my heart, and that's what I do. So I will tell everybody in this call, like, you are made for great things, and you really are, because I know what it feels not to believe in yourself, and it's something so awful, but I can tell you, like, we believe in you. I know you are capable of. So just get that word, read that word in the Bible, and just say, this is my word. I'm here to make a difference, and just like go all in one day at a time.
Yeah, that's so good. Paloma, girl, when I tell you I appreciate you, you inspire me. You inspire a lot of people. I don't have to tell you to keep running because you're definitely going to do that. Excited. We'll both be celebrating Chairman 250 very soon. Yes, because we're hungry. We're excited. We want to impact lives. We want to change lives. Guys, get back with the person that invited you on here today. You know, get back with them and say, hey, you know what? I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to grow. It's my time. You just have to know. We're already halfway through 2020. When I think about that, I'm like, wow, I'm so glad that I've spent my time being productive and creating content and learning and changing and evolving. And I want to encourage you that if you're not uncomfortable, it's time to get uncomfortable. It's time to get out of that comfort zone, just doing what you know to do, and get around people that are smarter than you. I love what you said, Paloma. That's a key. Get around people that are doing more, that are smarter than you, because those are people that are going to stretch you. If you're the hero in the room, if you got the most in the room, you're not growing that way. You need to get connected to a wealth focus group that can really cultivate and help you to develop your skill set and learn. And I like to say, get to know him as the God of intelligence. He's not just a spiritual God. He is intelligence. He gave Daniel, the Bible says in Daniel, that he endowed Daniel with a spirit of intelligence, but then he had to cultivate that. And so you have an opportunity in this space to cultivate that intelligence that God put on the inside of you. All right. So guys, thanks so much for jumping on.
Thank you for having me here. It was really awesome. And I'm just so excited for you, for your team. God bless you always. And we're going to go for that Chairman 250.
That's it. All right. Bye. Bye, everybody.